Hope Light by Taylor Swift. Is Taylor still singing about how she's not cleaning and making a nice place for me to cook for myself? Like, if she cleaned for me some key that she gave me, you can only clean for somebody else if you gave out the key to somebody else. You have to say that you owe the cleaning. Yeah, but you do in jail and prison. But Taylor Swift is pretty far from jail. If I was gonna need anything, she could have done a few things wrong in my personal space, and that would have been better. 7 cups of water. Okay. This is 2 cups. This is 2 cups. Okay. I need more water. Okay, if I use all of this water, that'll be 6 cups. And it says 7 cups for the whole bag. Well, I have been adding water more than 4 cups to this pot, and I've been able to succeed with that. I'm going to be boiling beans so they expand and they absorb water. They absorb water and expand. I have to say it wrong because I'm the overlord and I'm being executed. I'm being recorded right here on myself that I am being executed by the creation of itself. There's overlord, which is supreme, that's creating the overlord, that's creating the none higher than me deceased. Lucky is what we call him. So Lucky's being created is deceased. Now it's me. I died of creating Lucky, and I'm being executed by the overlord to myself. And I'm supposed to tell you that it's not easy to die out of creation's all. Well, I'm gonna die out of creation's all that are in leverage to be here. Okay, I can afford it, but I've said no to the 3rd bottle of water before. But right now I'm saying yes, and I'm gonna see what happens. I should add another half bottle for this whole bag of chili, but I'm not gonna eat it all that way. Yeah, no. There's a little water on the top inside here, and this is water spots that just don't solve with the tap water being, I don't know, what it is, where we are. It's the plumber's tap water. It leaves water marks, water spots. Okay, off. Pi 987. Now I'm talking over a stove that was delivered here by some company called Pomelo. It's like how you say grapefruit in Espanol. Yeah, so it's the grapefruits stove here. Well, Charles used to bring in grapefruit juice by, what's the brand? It's fresh in the refrigerated section. Um, so not fresh squeezed, but like refrigerated always. And then it has an expiration date of, I don't know, sometime, maybe a month. So what's the brand? Is it Tropicana or no? I'm not remembering right now. They also have orange juice, but grapefruit juice, I tried it. Ruby red grapefruit juice. The cap looks like a grapefruit. It's like red or pink, and it has like the markings of a grapefruit that's been cut in half. And I like that. I don't know if that's who's supplying this. I know they don't say pomelo, they say grapefruit. But pomelo is supplying this stove top. I'm interested in having a portable stove top because I don't want to need this one because I didn't call for it. It's not enough leverage. I know Charles Toe's not here right now and I'm depending on the stove is here. But what did I not get instead? Because Jerry, the landlord, she came and removed his stove and she didn't replace it. No, Charles Toe replaced it with his cell phone and what? I don't know how he paid for it. Is the bill locked up in the mailbox? I don't know. Charles Toe has the mailbox key. This stove's been here for a while, long enough for the bill to have been delivered by the mailman. But I know my cell phone doesn't deliver a stove to here if you don't get a bill in the mailbox. So whatever we are getting for free out of this stove, it's not really paid for from my point of view. I'm deceased here. So the landlords are down to fighting over everything that moves. Well, they must be putting the money right there. All the money that's been taken for rent between years 1995 and 2025. All the money that's been taken for rent or not. Sometimes I don't see the money exactly moving if mom and dad are in the neighborhood. So the people who have been taking the rent money and counting it, you're pretty much just counting it as something that moves, right? And you can just take it because it moves and you can touch it with your hands and no one can stop you. And there's so many people, you don't want to fight with the other people around you. You have something that's not going to last, which is that you take something that moves and nobody around you wants to fight with you about it because they don't want to have a problem with you are a debt that is higher than what moved in front of somebody else who would maybe move it as well. Like if it was a printed check or something, like let's say a money order, if it's a money order and it's within reach of a few people, is someone just going to let it go and other people are going to let it go? Because if one person is holding it, you are a debt in God that costs more than their money order to someone who's alive with you because you are lives together. And that's how you're doing more crime on myself than I can afford because I don't have any lives with you. I find you alive, but I don't alive you, like form you, and I don't alive with you, as in I have a hole in myself, and so do you, and we alive together because it's in money as a superior founder would alive it. So you have this problem where you've been taking money away from me in that mix of debts. And you don't know, you must know because you're handling it with your hands. You look at it with your eyes. You have vision correction, which means you use an ophthalmology to order to see that you touch, let's say, money and it's moving for you. And that's all you do is count it and move it and you hold it for yourself. around other people who just don't want to fight with you because you're a larger debt than it is to try to get something for free out of money. The money belongs to myself, the soul of the superior founder, deceased and alive, and it is due frozen in the bank or frozen wherever you find it. It's due frozen. Frozen in a store, frozen in a convenience store, frozen at a gas station. Money's due frozen, everything's due frozen. If you move it, that's you being mentally bizarre. You don't actually hold the money frozen, and you should be in prison if you don't hold money frozen. You need to be in prison to pay out restitution. You don't hold money frozen. If you're in prison, that's how you don't move the money, because you're in the prison is not mixing with the order where the money is everywhere because of the dog genital died the wrong way. If you have a penis genital, that's how you know that. Rabbi Silberg of Temple Emmanuel, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Rabbi Silberg, I have seen you give so many sermons. I was wondering if when you stand in front of the congregation, Temple Emmanuel, if you have perspire underneath your arms, does your body temperature go up? Do you get nervous? Because he's very assertive, like speaks exactly about current events, is maybe what I would describe when I was older, what I heard him say. And then he would say things in Hebrew I don't understand. Yeah, I'm speaking now in English, but sometimes with an accented English because I am out of the money it is to speak like this. So sometimes I just say, yep, I would reluctantly speak on this matter because it is in view when I just would say no and I'm not getting my way. So I'll say something with an accent, accented English, yeah. Espanol, I speak a little Espanol for food only because I was hungry. I learned Spanish because I was hungry, and I don't actually need it because it's gibberish anyway because it's the second language. Educated, that's not really Spanish to me. I don't have any leverage to learn Spanish except for that I'm hungry. Nobody wants to be hungry and have leverage on that you're hungry, and then you're hungry does things for hunger, and other people aren't hungry, and it's very strange to learn Espanol just for food. I would like to give thanks to the Coto supermarket, Supermercado Coto, C-O-T-O. That's in Buenos Aires, Belgrano neighborhood in Argentina, South America, South Continent America. The Coto had a salad bar in there. It was a supermarket with a salad bar, fresh, really big, but I don't have what it takes to stay in South America. The landlording was not really accommodating to myself, was from North America. I speak English. Well, you don't have to talk to me in Spanish about how I don't have a home. That was stated explicitly with the passport being stamped. Thank you. Coto, C-O-T-O. T-O is like two, but in Espanol it's just toe. Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with Charles Toe. I only ate a few times at the Coto. I was also eating like takeout food from restaurants or shops, or eat downtown. I would eat in restaurants downtown, lunch. Did I eat twice a day or was it once a day? I don't know. Eat when hungry, but I was like weighing in at 140 pounds in kilos, right? How many kilos was it? I don't know. Was it 60 kilograms? Kilos? Kilograms, yeah. Um, and I was overweight in Argentina even though I was eating not a lot because it was expensive. I worked out at the gym. I ate enough so that I could work out, yeah. C-O-T-O. Well, Charles To's last name is T-O-H. And that was a long traumatic problem, and I'm still not out of it yet. I see the same front door where Charles Toe left, and I think he could come back. And I'm not waiting for him to come back, but I don't know that he won't until I'm not here anymore. And that'll be like when the world is out of form. Unless I get a key to someplace, but I'm not in leverage to get one. And I've not been offered a key as God because somebody has a clean key fit. Yeah, that would be me. If I had a key fit, it would be me. This smells good. Yeah, let's hope for the best. So, I'm looking to, this is 6 cups of water, not 7. If I put the whole thing in, this is half the tomato paste I need. I need the whole tube, and it's about half or 2/3 of the tube. We'll see what happens here. Okay, this is a lot of water. It's my first time making this much water. Yeah. Okay, there's bubbles already. What does that mean? Look at the bubbles. That's hysterical. Ooh. Okay. That's soup mix that's going in there. Powder. I want that in there. Okay. Well, mischievous melodies. Oh wow, look at the powder. Yeah. Okay, it's all going in. I'm going to be short a little on the water. It really won't take any more water. I can see that. Okay. That's how I need the soup mix in there, like the seasoning, you know. Okay, so it's short on water by about a cup. Okay. So it's at 7. I'll need to turn that down. Do you care about this? Well, I'm doing this for myself, by myself, but I know this will be posted on YouTube. Well, this should be hot. This needs to be, I'm have it at 5 because I don't want it to boil over and make a mess. But it needs to be really hot because it's beans. Yeah. What do I need? A slow cooker, right? Well, I don't have a slow cooker. It's going to take 25 minutes from now. Alright. It's foaming on top. Okay, 25 minutes from now, that'll be... Oh, this phone won't show. No. Oh, okay. 12:58. So it's 1 in the morning right now. So 25 minutes from now will be like 1:25 in the morning. Okay. Well, you know, it's hungry. I have to wait 25 minutes though, so it's not hungry like urgent. I can wait. It says I can add the tomato paste at this time, but I would like to wait because I don't think the cooking time for beans that need to be cooked until they are constituted, that's not the same cooking time as tomato paste. And this is, I guess, since it's paste, is it raw? You didn't say that. Well, it's preserved in a tube. Consume within 4 weeks of opening. I'm there, yeah, it's within 4 weeks. Opalite by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is going into what it's like to be herself without singing in karma. And then it ends up being the creator in there, which is God. Well, I'm God is right here. I want all my money. I want Taylor Swift to give me all of my money out of Taylor Swift body, what it's worth in money, what it is to me. Because if it's not frozen in the bank, which is where I can get it while I'm alive, I need it deceased that she gives it to me deceased. And that would be everybody who's not myself, but, I'm not up in heaven yet. Well, I will need to rest because it's too much. And then there's other parts of myself, so it's too much. But you are in 16 worlds of debt, so it's going to be too much for a while. Reduce heat to medium and simmer uncovered. 5 is medium, right? Salt and pepper to taste. Hate to disappoint you, I don't have any salt. Okay, so back to. Oh, what time is it? Okay, 1:01 and it's 25 minutes, so 1:25, right? Okay. Um, Artisan soups. That one has to have chicken stock to make it. And I did not get it from the store. So it's a supermarket and it knows that I ordered this soup, but it didn't supervise that it needs to add in chicken stock and it needs to pay for it. So I didn't get chicken stock with this soup mix because the supermarket doesn't supervise that it needs chicken stock for itself. Do you believe in it is itself? No, you are counting things. Yes, no, and what's yours to yourself and what is mine to yourself. And you think it's mine to yourself that I have artisan soups and that there's no chicken stock to go with it. Let me find it right on the packaging so you can see it. Chicken stock is right there. Chicken stock. So if I don't have the chicken stock, did you charge for the whole order? Because the supermarket doesn't know what's yours to yourself because it doesn't know that it didn't send chicken stock and it's on the packaging that came from the supermarket. That's for them to know that because it's there first and it's here after that. That's in the supermarket first, and then it's here. That's what these plastic bags are for. The supermarket doesn't have the 1 cent plastic bags paid for. That this came in one of these plastic bags from Smith's or Kroger Smith's problem. So, are you sure you know what's mine to myself? What's yours to yourself? What's yours to myself? What's mine to yourself? Are you sure you know? Because you don't have the plastic bag, the chicken stock, and then this soup mix all together. I don't ask for chicken stock because I'm vegetarian, but if you threaten me that it needs chicken stock because it's right on the bag, I would agree with you. You are correct to send it. And you paid for it. I agree, you paid for it. I have to eat it. I would cook it like you're partly cooking it that way, and I would be having to cook it that way, and I would have to eat it. But what I can say no to is pork. I would say no to pork. But if it's chicken, I would have to eat it. That's how I grew up because my mom figured she did the cooking, I guess, for herself because she kept my house. But I did eat that she was serving meat, and I really wouldn't need the meat. I don't need meat. I am deceased. I don't need meat. But I ate a lot of meat because she served it. And it was fine. I like mom's food. Yep, I like it. So I want to thank all my schools for helping with the cooking because I was in school that she was maybe doing dinner every night. It was nothing. I didn't take it for granted, but it was always there, and I was fine with it. Dinner after school, like later. But the school didn't have any way for me to get food when mom stopped cooking. Yeah, but I've been alive for years. Maybe, why is it that I'm alive longer without mom's cooking? Because she's not cooking. Yeah. Well, she pulled my fork. I knew she would, but I didn't know that at the start. I didn't know she was going to eat either. No, well, the school didn't look into that. The school's not supervising what was going on with my parents in the house. That's not nice because there's school principals and a lot of teachers, and they didn't want to come to my house and find out why mom was eating in the house and why I was going to have no food when she was done eating. They weren't angry that was mean. I've seen some of the school teachers be really mean, unnecessarily mean. Mr. Millard is, Coach Millard is unnecessarily mean about softball. He didn't look into why my parents picked up golf clubs, and then I couldn't play golf after that. Well, God is counting what is your heart, even though I would ignore that, and I want to golf anyway because I like the weather outside. I like to golf because I like the weather outside. And that's where I can socialize with what you are. You have to strike a golf ball so you don't hit me because you don't like me. I know that's mean to the golf ball, but it shouldn't be in alive. The golf ball, it's illegally alive. You golfers are illegally alive. Tiger Woods, you're an illegal golfer. He's a black person who hits the golf ball until he told everyone he's partly Thai. Is that even true? He's black. How does he know if he's Thai? Everyone knows he's black. Tiger Woods is black. African American. Okay, let's say he's a black African American. So he's doing Africa, and then we don't have to worry about if he's partly Thai, like Asian. I think if you're black, you pretty much don't have to worry about Asian. Maybe I might look at someone's eyes and might think that they have some kind of Asian shape to their eyes, but you wouldn't know that you're from Thailand or Korea or Japan. If you're black, you don't know that. I'm going to have leftovers here. Well, let me see what to do with the leftovers, because I have a small competition here. This, I can store leftovers in this container. It's the one Tupperware that Mitch gave me, and if I want more, I guess I can ask for more, but he offered this one. And I would, if I open up these pretzels and I put them in here, they will fit in here. But I need the same container for the chili. And right now, the container is available so that I can store chili in there. Yeah, darn good chili. So Pomelo, who delivered this store, that's what's wrong with it. I have no home here. GE is what I wanted to call attention to, the GE. That's a good, I can use that, but it's the light bulb. And it's lighting up the stove is not true. GE should have a light right on it, but it doesn't. There's some standing water on the floor because of the robe that dripped, and it's the water slant, I guess, comes down the floor, is slanted a little from there to over here so that the water is here, even though I know that it came from there. Yeah. So what I would like to know is, how long is it going to be until I die if nobody's going to pay out a key and I'm not waiting on anyone to give me a new place to live? Because this place is, you could say, deceased the wrong way. Well, I'm going to be out of my genitals in about 8 years in the threatening, which means I'm going to be, murdered because you're not going to give me 8 years of food to cook for myself. Nope, I don't see that happening. You don't actually have mental capacity to give me the food at this time because you've been sniveling and gluttoning. Illegal alive human beings, shunts, have been sniveling. That means you've been holding on to things that you're supposed to pay out, and you've been gluttoning. You've been eating things that you've been holding on to, eating something out of what you've been holding on to that you really were due to give to God. Sniveling and gluttoning. Gluttoning the sniveling. Are you so angry that you want to tell God that you forgot about the angry things you did in the past? So what's innocence? Do you have any innocence for God? One 800 cut the purse strings. First Star Bank. Uh, Outshoot of First Wisconsin Bank, deceased the wrong way. That's First Star Bank. And then I guess it didn't die again for my need to be elsewheres. How do you get a bank to die for your convenience, for your need? Well, when it became First Star Bank, I don't know who they were helping because I didn't get any keys for that. Nope, I don't have any keys from First Wisconsin Bank turned into First Star Bank. Are you skipping over everything important? Because the order is First Wisconsin Bank. Yeah. If the order is not First Wisconsin Bank anymore, why isn't the order looking into it until it's First Wisconsin Bank again? Let's say it's spent and lost. Don't you need to close some things down? Don't you need some people to be put in jails and prisons because you really destroyed the order already? You can't just say, oh, well, now it's First Star Bank. It doesn't know that. If I was a customer of First Wisconsin Bank and I went into the bank and I said, hi, is today your last day being open? They would tell me they don't know that because they have schedule on the door that says their bank open hours are from, for example, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Well, that's how First Star Bank is not insurable, that the order is like that. Sure, and they send you bank statements. The First Star Bank, they're so official. There's nothing wrong with First Star Bank. They send bank statements and they are very much in order, just like First Wisconsin Bank. Why are the First Star Bank locations all the same? What about the phone numbers? Are those the same? Does anyone remember? Does First Wisconsin Bank have the same phone numbers, like 1-800 First Wisconsin Bank? Is that 1-800 First Star Bank? Same thing. Does anybody know? That's what I mean. You can't do that in the order. You can't have that problem in the order. You cannot be alive that way. Well, for all of my friends who were alive during First Wisconsin Bank, so they went to school with me, like Dunwood Elementary School and Bayside Middle School. And then high school, at Homestead High School, there was still First Wisconsin Bank, right? First Star Bank, that would have been year 1998 in university. But I have people who were like consuming that I knew about the banking at First Wisconsin Bank. And I just want to tell them I don't have anything against them personally about that the bank was this fraud, that it went from First Wisconsin Bank to First Star Bank. I don't actually point the finger at anyone from school and say, I don't want to be your friend anymore because the bank collapsed. Yes, but what would I say? Maybe there are too many of you. Can you afford to hear that? What if I said to those friends from school, I went to school with you for a lot of time, many years, most of you. Is it okay if I tell you I think there are too many of you to be friends with, and that is what caused the bank to collapse? So how are you going to say with your own self that you understand your own alive? I would say that to my friends so that they know that I have enough mental capacity to be close to them physically, because you don't believe in God in those little matters. There's something all locked up in your head that you think God doesn't understand something or another about you. They're like that God doesn't understand what? You don't believe in me. Why? What don't I understand? Because you're doing a crime on myself. Yeah, but I just stated the order. That's the crime that you're doing that I can afford to say in English, and I can be close to you and say it. But I'm on camera because you don't afford to be close to me. But I'm talking about yourself to you. If you were anywhere in Wisconsin, if I could afford to be in Wisconsin, I could still say these things to you. But there wouldn't be much more to say. I can speak, but I can't afford that you speak back to me. That's pretty much why it's on camera, no matter where you are. I can't afford that you disagree with me, but I think you can afford to hear it. This soup mix right here is spelled VEGI. And if it's veggie, it's VEGGIE. Veggie. So this is not a complete soup mix. It's also missing like chicken stock or vegetable stock. Is that what it said? Vegetable stock. Vegetable soup base stock. Vegetable stock for soup. Do you say it that way? Okay, I don't have that either. And it didn't come from the supermarket. So it's not supervising. What do you do when you take the money? It's very hard no scream for me to be in a supermarket and see you go for the money like it's just no about the counting of the money. And you should have counted the money up higher after you say no. After you say no, you need to raise the prices all the way until you don't see the food being priced anymore, and for you to try to pay for it. It should be priced so high you don't try to pay for it like it's a car. Are you trying to pay for that you can pick up food and put it in a car? Well, are you being honest with your God about what the price is to himself? If you tell God right at the register, are you the cashier? I have selections here that I want to carry out of the store and put in the car because they fit in the car and because I can move the car with a key. So then, do you tell them how much it's worth to you that you're going to do that? Not like it's haggling, but you're not really paying the price of food, is that you're not allowed to eat it. You can't just say, well, the price is on the shelf, that's how much it is for me to give money out of my carry like wallet or purse, and then the store will accept the money and I can carry the items out with permission. You can, but whose money is it? You don't actually have that figured out. When you've counted the money high and yes and no, whether you get permission to go out with something that you want to pay money for, you don't have any sense of whose money it is when you do that. You think it's your money with your name because you carried it, because it was banked, or because it has credit, and it's your money with your name, but you don't have your head on the money for that. You can't count the money all the way up high and you don't have it paid for. Well, you'd want to tell the cashier because it fits in the car and I can move the car. That's how I want to say it's mine to myself. Then it's not really how you count the money, is it? It's really that the cashier said no to you and you went out with it anyway, and you've done that so many times. You think that that's God's fault, that he didn't stop you. You're a chaos in society. You're just really outlandish. You need to take God seriously because that's yourself. You can't say, I am myself and I need to do this crime on God. That's not excused. You record that with yourself on your genitals and you think that that is what God is. Yes, but you've not seen other parts of God and see that other parts of God don't really look like this. Well, I'm none higher than he deceased. And the other parts of myself don't really look like this. And they definitely don't look like this. I know it's not your mess, but it's a mess that you are banking. It's your credit cards, it's your credit lines, it's your signatures. Are you educated? You're educated, but you have this. The school bus still passes right by this apartment building, and it passes right by this mess. You have a school bus that passes right by this mess. Whatever. And it thinks that that's somebody else's problem. You don't really think that's your school bus money. You think your school bus is like, I should rise to the level of your school bus. Wow, nobody does if it's not me. I've taken the school bus more than anyone. That's what I find with my school bus. I'm still alive after having been on the school bus from K4, half day of school, K5, half day of school, first grade, full day of school, all the way through graduation from high school. school bus. Don't forget Erin Twos. I know, Erin Twos. She took me to school for 1 year, and then she left me with this problem. Erin Twos, are you educated? You didn't take the school bus. I know, you won't help me with the school bus. By that, you would give me another place to take the school bus because the school bus route just wasn't working out for me at that address, location. So, do you want to change who God is for money? If you're in a car with somebody, who's the driver, who's the passenger? How do you decide who's the driver of the car and who's the passenger? What if you're the driver, you don't like the passenger, or you're the passenger, you don't like the driver? Or do you like the driver because you like the car? Well, then you like the car. Don't you want to know how you are deceased out of whether or not you like something about God that he likes about himself, but maybe you don't know is his true order and plan for himself? Because you're so disorganized. This is what it looks like for you to like the car itself and you don't care for the driver if you're the passenger. And if you're the passenger, you don't care for the driver. It looks like this to God. It's a mess because it's not his order that you would be inside of the car at all. He's not interested in whether or not you approve of somebody who's not yourself. Personally, you're not there to like them. You need a death on yourself. You need to see God in a life. You can't just, pick a part of God and try to hold on to it and change it and make it something that fits you. You need to be crucified if you do that because it's not yours. If it's somebody else in genitals, it's not you and your genitals. It's not yours. Okay, it's done. I need to try it, but it's clearly bubbling. Oh, the tomato paste. Okay, tomato paste. Going in. I need both hands for this. This is the tube of what's left from the last time I used the tomato paste, hoping it would be enough for a soup mix I'm disappointed with. I need the chicken stock. Okay, let me mix that in. I will need to wait another 5 minutes, and I think it's worth it. It will be a little extra cooking time. 5 minutes more on the tomato paste. Something died so that I could be here today, and that's because it didn't agree with itself. And I agree, it didn't agree with itself, and that's you need to be in jail and prison, and you need to know that without being told, because you cannot take somebody to jail and prison with you because they know about you going there. And if you have too dense of a population, you have to be homeless until you are trespassed out of homeless, and see how long that takes, because it might take time. My dad figure he's not in prison my whole life and he's doing prison. I tried to put him in prison with myself a long time ago, like first sight of him in my house. I tried to, send him to prison in God, but I did not succeed, like for a lifetime. That's not for me to do that. I'm not there to give Dad all the threatening reasons why he should be in prison. Yeah, and I certainly cannot say that to a sex offender who did something far in the wrong, and I tell him he's going to prison. I can't do that. I'm not going with you. I'm not really your God, is why you did a crime on me with yourself. Okay, this is starting to make my back feel tired. Yeah. Okay, the chili's looking red. Yeah. Is that enough tomato paste? Okay. There's some like here. I don't know if I can get it out. Okay, there it is. It's out, but it's not the way I like it. I don't like it that way. I think I'm just going to throw this out. But I need to use the sink to wash my hands, and it's not time to do that. Plumber, I did make a mess. I need emergency sink to clean myself up. Yeah. Plumber, he's not here for that. No, but I'm thinking of him. Alright, I'm using a little water. Okay, I have to rinse the sponge. Cancelled by Taylor Swift. Cancelled by Taylor Swift. Okay, more water can go in the pot. Yes, I suppose so, but I don't want to add any more to make a mess here. The tomato paste is quite enough. Okay, I turn it down to 4. Rachel Ray, embezzlement of food itself. I cannot recover from that. No, I will die extinguished just on Rachel Ray. She is, wow, an exorbitant expense. No one can afford that. It's bubbling too much. We'll add water. Yes, it's better. Okay, that's about half. Leave it for now, huh? Okay. The creation of myself is making scream right in the body, like ignoring myself, that I would find that alarming, uncomfortable. I wanted to make sure it not happen again. It would be like if I put my hand in a pot of hot chili, if I just left it in there even though it was hot, because it doesn't pay for the motion to remove the hand because it is hot to me. And I can't take it anymore. The scream in my own body. I want deceased because no one can afford. I have that problem that has to do with God being deceased in the threatening that you don't know who I am because you are illegally elsewhere, because you are consuming, that you are not paying out the food supply. You are consuming like that you have a debt, and then to live with the debt because you don't want to change with the superior founder moving around you to something wrong and it moved away from you. You went to the store, bought food, and ate it. That is not the same thing as that you owed money to the bank and you went to jail and died. You cannot fool God. Did you do something wrong and you were due in jail, and then you were due in prison, and then you were due that you died? You cannot fool God that you are like, oh, I don't want to go to jail today. I'm going to the supermarket. I'm going to, walk around for an hour, and then I'm going to check out some items. I'm going to go home and cook them and eat them. I'm not going to jail today. I'm not going to jail every day. By then, I'm going to the supermarket. I don't actually want to eat out of the supermarket because of you being like that. I need a restaurant for that purpose. Yes, I'm not a hypocrite. I don't want this food. Nope. I don't want none of your time. If you want to call me a hypocrite on any of the points of the 1,000 videos plus that are posted on YouTube, I will say they're all about I don't want none of your time. Yep. Can't help it. You are alive. You cannot get out of the problem you are to yourself by telling me that if I don't like it, I can be elsewhere at my own expense. I know you want to get out of your personality problem with it. You are just taking away everything that moves, but it's not yours, but it's yours that way. But it's not yours in God. You don't have lasting divinity that way. That's you trying to sell me your right arm. I don't want to buy your right arm off of you. Your hysterical karma tonight. I'm going to be elsewheres in God by morning because I don't afford you are elsewheres in the threatening tonight. So Mitch Hello Moser, the one who is providing the food tonight, yes, say grace. And no, because I am disclosing my leverage, that you are due in jails and prisons on the point that I am come. Yeah, well, you're still trying to sell me the debt that you are, that you're not going to jail or prison because there's nothing wrong with you. You don't know anything about jail or prison. You never hear jail and prison from anyone because you are yourself a very good person. Well, you are good thieving. You are thieving, you are good. Good is for God. If you're God, you can be good. Add an O. If I am God, I can add an O and be good. If you're not God, if you're not myself, you can be good. You can be in prison. You don't have an O from which to add another O. You don't start with God and then you're good. You start from being a human being descended into a shunt, and you're trying to be going from God to good? How can you go from human being to good? How can you go from shunt of a human being to good? You skipped that you're not God. You didn't say, well, I'm a shunt of a human being, but I can be God and then I can be good. You can't do that. Doesn't speak English. You cannot be a human being and be also good. You need to be quiet. And then you need to be deceased. You need to know what that is from yourself. This is not a how to be in creation video. This is not how to be in creation for dummies. I have too much liquid on top. I don't have a soup ladle yet. Do you know I've been making soup for, I don't know, some months now. And nobody sent me a ladle with all the soup mix that I've ordered from the supermarket. I don't materialize a ladle because I need one. And you don't come looking for me because I need a ladle. Why aren't you like sitting quietly and you think about something? You think that I need something. You can't because you're due in prisons. You're absolutely hysterically not my problem. I can take care of myself. But you are occupying the supermarket and giving me a lower mind than I can afford. Okay, I can use more chili. Let me try and get it. Taylor Swift understands everything that I would hear from God if she wasn't singing into a microphone. Her voice is deceased so that she doesn't sing into a microphone. She can be anywhere deceased at any time and not sing into a microphone. Okay, the spoon went in, huh? Oh, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. What are you doing? Overlord, what'd you do with my finger? Is this a signal like we're playing baseball? Yeah, I'm the catcher. I want a certain kind of pitch. Father, well, it's hysterical karma. I'm not pleased with it. The soup, it's not nice, and I don't like it. Okay, let's try that. I think we're good now. Yeah, that's what's wrong with it. Okay, I have to say no, and then I have to say yes, and then I have to say no, because it's overloaded that way. But I did something wrong as God to get caught. I don't have an order to be here. Okay, we're good now. Right? Right. Okay, this is covered. And this is for now. Good. I wasn't hungry, but I will wait and get hungry. I just burped, which means I need to throw the soup right on the floor. Are you going to come and clean it up? If you watch this video, you owe that you come and clean up the soup off the floor, but I'm not going to spill it for you. Oh, so you've been hostage somebody? I have, but it's not paid for you. I am hiding that I know you, but I don't afford it. Okay. There's that mess. I did spill that. Yeah, it's some tomato-based soup. So, something to drink. It's not exactly how I want to leave it. So I can put this in the sink. Okay, and then I can put this in the garbage. Okay, let's do that. I'm using this garbage even though there is. Can somebody get the robe out of my back side? Because when I bend over, it goes in between my. Okay, I got it now. I was just letting you know your God form quit his job. I absolutely quit my job. I don't like you. If there are any views of this video, because it's a long one so far, I don't like you. No, I don't. Taylor Swift can say I don't like you, but she doesn't have the money it is to say I don't like you. She didn't pay for my rent. You know, give me a house. She can be deceased because she's not in my leverage to give me a house. She's on TV. Well, now I'm on the internet myself. I need something to drink, but I don't have it ready for me. So, you've been counting the time. How does the time count for you? Boiling water takes 8 minutes. It takes me a little time to get the water into the pot. Let's say it takes a minute to get the water into the pot. It takes 8 minutes to boil the water. And then it takes 25 minutes to boil the chili. And then it takes 5 minutes to add the tomato paste. Does that sound like time to you? What's the most important set of minutes of it all? Boiling the water. How many minutes is that? For everyone, is it the same? No, it depends on your stove. Are you sure it doesn't depend on yourself? Tongue clicker. I'm done without this. Yeah, but get out. Shut up with you. I am fines. Cheetos. I used to watch Sai Baba videos and music videos with some singing in there. I did think Baba was the avatar because it was my money to think that way, but now I don't have to know that anymore because it's myself. But why? Why was it ever Baba? I am going to skip over the money because it's angry to know you. It's angry to tell you that you're that far in the wrong. Yes, it's true that Taylor Swift must sing into the microphone because there's something wrong with her body. But she's not supposed to sing. She's supposed to go to jail and prison on the point that she was too young to sign a recording contract when she started to sing. She should have gone to jail and prison so she would not sell herself being too young to speak for herself. Is the banking starting at age 15 now? We owe Taylor Swift that if she's too young to sign a recording contract, that we move all the banking so that people who are younger can use the banking. So why isn't that the bank is fighting over? that some people who are young have money. And that's because you are due in jail and prison if you have money in the bank, no matter what your age. It's not your argument that you have to get off your parents' money and live in public. If you want to be off your parents' money while you are in a prison, you can fight to the death about something else. So, who wants me to make a police report that I was sexually abused? But I did not ask you not to hurt me. So, why didn't you make a police report that you sexually abused somebody who didn't ask you not to? You want to go to hell for that? No, you don't want to know why you're in hell. How do you know you can afford to be in hell? You don't have any money to be in hell that way.